Beautiful ladies and handsome gentlefuckers, welcome back to the Skies Falling update. Everything is fucked. We gotta sell it. We gotta run for the hills. It is time to panic. Report of the week. Yes, everything is going, oh my god, it's scary. It's just called market volatility. Okay? No, we're not selling everything. No, we're not running for the hills. Yes, we are smoking Cubans. No, it's not smoking. It's smoke going into my face and being released again. And please, don't give me a lecture about mouth cancer, Mom. If I'm going to die because of whatever's happening, I'd rather die with a cigar in my hand and smoke in my face. Thank you so much, Mom. You're dead. Stay dead. Yeah. Shit is popping off. Blood in the streets. We got Apple down 9%, Nvidia down blah blah percent, Amazon's down, everything's down. Here we go. Here is the waterfall moment happening. Why? Because Papa Trump is charging China tariffs. But China doesn't pay the tariffs. I'm trying to run a company in the country, and I'm the one who pays the tariffs, right? Like, China doesn't get charged tariffs. It's the company who's importing the stuff in the country itself that pays the tariffs. So it's basically a tax on Americans, and Americans are excited about it because it brings jobs back so that they can have their job to pay more tariff tax. Yeah. That sounds like the kind of thing me and my American brethren would come up with. It makes logical American sense. So, what's going on? Well, blood on the streets in the stock market. But wow, Sim, oh my god, look at this. Isn't this great? Like, Bitcoin hasn't gone down and crypto's so resilient and strong. I feel like this is a sign of something. No, this is a sign that you are still too hopeful, which means we are not done. Your hopes have not been crushed, which means we are not done. This is also a sign that the stock market dumps on the weekdays and crypto dumps on the, you guessed it, the 2 days you have off from the 9 to 5 prison sentence to finish the chores at home and make sure you mow that lawn that you told your wife you would mow, and now she's mad because the lawn is so big and it looks worse than the neighbors, and their wife is going to get happier than your wife, and then your life is going to suck. Yeah, crypto's going to go down soon. Am I sure? Yeah. Because if this is how bad stocks are doing, then crypto is going to follow alongside, no problem. Now, where's crypto at now? This is the 1 week RSI. We'll look at it from CoinGlass. A lot of coins, a lot of glass, a lot of stuff going on. Look at this for a second and tell me what you see. Here, I'll put myself right there, right in the annoying spot. Tell me what you see. This is the RSI, the relative strength indicator. Are things overbought or are things oversold? This is on the 1 week scale that we're looking at. So this is about as zoomed out as we can look at. Okay. So now look at that. Guess one of the few coins, one of the solid coins that is holding strong in this market. That is one of the strongest coins out there. X to the R to the P. You're welcome. It's as strong as USDC. You called it a stable coin. It is a stable coin, as we've spoken about. Now, look at how many discounts there are out there. All those people, all the peeps who are telling me, Sim, buy AIXBT or Peanut or whatever the fuck this is, Penguin or whatever. Sim, buy all of these. Those same people were telling me to buy it when it was at all-time high. Those same people are not buying it right here, right now. So those same people are the people that I choose not to listen to. Thank you so much. Look at one of the most beat-up coins out there, Ethereum. Ethereum's a shit coin. It's never going to come back. It's the second biggest coin in the world. It sounds exactly like the XRP narrative to me. Okay? So things are at massive, massive, massive discounts. Look at that. Orca, massive discount. Love it. FET, massive discount. Turbo, stupid discount. Ridica discount. It's called a Ridic account. Just go there, go here yourself. RSI heat map, CoinGlass, look at all the discounts. Now, could they go lower? Sure. But are you getting a verified discount? Yeah. So what do? We get terrified. That's what we do. We get terrified. Let's all be terrified. Let's all be terrified. But rather than just be terrified today, let's look at how the trend of how we have been terrified. Because it is not the terror you feel today that matters. It is the terror you have been feeling consistently. And what is the trend of terror? High, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, likely a lower low is where we're headed. So the trend is downwards. So the fear trend is downwards. Now, this is the bottom region of fear around this zone. So if you're somebody who started buying here last time, that maybe somebody put out a buy signal, maybe somebody, who knows, maybe somewhere, maybe he put a bunch of buttons to press to say buy, 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 buy. That's smart. Buying the bottom of the fear is fantastic. Now, I do have a list of things that I want to talk about, and I never follow it because how dare you give me a list, Sim? Do you know who I am? Yeah. So just looking at the world, let's go right from the top. Let's take a lot of people ask, Sim, how do you analyze markets? How do you look at things? How do you come to these conclusions? First of all, I spent every waking moment from the age of 11, actually, learning how the world works. And I mean every single waking moment. And from the age of 13, I would just smoke weed, get high, sit there, and just learn and learn and learn. And you think you can't learn. I have ADD, or so they told me I have ADD. It's a superpower. But I would sit there and I would learn. From the age of 17, I got Adderall, which is basically meth. So being high and a meth head and then sitting down to learn, I mean, God, that is a whole different level of psycho that you cannot imagine. From 17 to 30, I was on Adderall every single day, learning everything from, the theory of relativity to quantum mechanics. And anybody who understands physics understands everything comes in between those kind of two frameworks that we look at. And studying all of those things, and then, of course, finance and money and all those things become part of that educational journey. So that total understanding is the framework that I'm using. When I say framework, I can't teach it to you unless you want to learn quantum mechanics. But let's look at how I at least look at the financial side of things. And of course, as you know, my tinfoil hat framework allows me to project out what is about to happen because it's not going to say any words about that. I know things because I know things. Google my name. Looking at the macro. The first thing I always look at, is the holy ISM PMI. Remember, this is the business cycle. It has turned around. It is going lower. Remember that when this is trending down, altcoins and risk assets will underperform safety assets. But in crypto terms, come on, let's talk about crypto. Who here's buying gold? Except for you, I'm looking at Tony. When this is going down, altcoins underperform Bitcoin. When this is going up, altcoins outperform Bitcoin. Okay? This entire bull run that we've been on has been this little chop has caused the bull run in this process. The reason why I keep saying bull run is because the real bull run has not started yet. Okay? But this turned around. This month, this comes out on the monthly. This turned around. This went down to 49. Guess what? It's no good. It's no good, mister. It's no good. You want to go up, you go down. It's no good. Okay? So this is trending downwards. Doesn't look great. Could we have another COVID-like sell-off like this? Maybe. Maybe. You have rabies. Okay, so this is on the way down. Not looking good. Business cycle, not looking good. You're seeing that play out in the markets. Of course, Trump, tariffs, all these things are lined up to make all of this happen, right? I firmly believe that artificial intelligences run the world, and everything is planned according to artificial intelligence control, even down to when things are announced and what is said and so on and so forth. And if you don't believe that, look at the 45 seconds it took to drop after the announcements that humans simply cannot do. So the next thing that I've actually added recently to my list of new things is this. It's called BVOL7D, because volatility is the name of the game. This is the volatility of Bitcoin. So when it's going up, Bitcoin is usually falling. This means volatility is increasing, which means Bitcoin's usually falling. When this is going down, that means Bitcoin's either stable or it's trending upwards. It's not set in stone. You really have to be, there's nuance in this. But right now, it's going up. So Bitcoin is falling. And if you're excited that Bitcoin hasn't fallen, guess what? What do you think is going to happen? Take a wild guess. A wild guess what is going to happen. Yeah. This was the yen panic. August 5th, yen panic. You can clearly see the volatility went out of its most recent regular range. That's a clear sign. Wow, special event happening. Buy. You could do that if you choose. This is a sign for me. Buy. So, could we have a spike above? Yes. But right now, volatility is going up, which means I think Bitcoin continues to go down. Now, what we've been waiting for with bated breath is the VIX. Okay, pop quiz. What is the VIX? No, not that stinky stuff you rub all over your chest. Apa VIX. Que VIX. It is volatility. It is also a signal of fear. So the framework that I've been looking at, that I've been using, depends on high volatility events to buy. So this was the August 5th yen panic. August 5th, 2024, yen panic. You can clearly see that it is a special event on this chart. That fear spiked to a region that was special. And if we zoom out on this whole thing, you can see this was COVID. This was the 2012 banking crisis. Was it? I think so, maybe. I don't know. These are special events that happen. This was when somebody started coughing and we decided let's shut down the entire world and divide the entire world into one side and the other side, and all of a sudden agree that governments want to take care of us. Remember that time? Yeah, I bet you do. So, my thing is, when this goes above 37, it's a special event. It's like a, I can't think of anything stupid to say, so I'm just going to continue. Right now, it just went above 30. Thank you, Trump, for your announcement, because now it's gone above 30. Now, it's also trending upwards. If you see, higher high, sure. You know, it's like higher, low, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low. It's trending upwards, yeah? So this spiking above 37 means a special event is happening. That is the katana cash that we are waiting for. Things are playing out as expected. Now, I look into my crystal balls and I think, look at my Indian crystal ball. I'm going to connect to the Akashic records and we are going to pull down this data that I think the stock market is going to probably bottom between the 20th of April and the middle of May. That's how I do it. All those predictions I make, that's how I do it. I sit, I wrap like a towel around my head, and I sit and I put on an Indian accent and I reach into the Akashic records and I pull down the data. Yeah? That is the technical mechanical analysis. This is spiritual analysis, baby. No, I'm gonna show you where I'm getting these states from. I'm really enjoying myself today. Also, this is what it looks like when you buy XRP. Yeah? Everybody was laughing when times were great. Well, guess who's laughing now, motherfuckers? Ha! So volatility is doing what it's doing, all right? And this is a special signal here. Bond yields. They are falling off of a fucking cliff. Okay? Now let me show you something. If you go here and you type in Fed funds and you do new price scale, this is the Federal Reserve's interest rate. Yeah? This is the interest rates we all love talking so much about. What these rates do is they actually follow the Fed funds rate. I mean, the Fed funds rate follows the interest rates, the yields, as we call them. So the Fed doesn't, the Fed doesn't control shit. As a matter of fact, the markets control the Fed. Okay, so when the Fed's rates were low, the market said no, raise rates, and then of course they used monetary tricks to suppress the rates. But then the rates basically lead the Fed funds rate, and then the rates drop before the Fed funds rate starts dropping, and then as soon as the rates drop below the Fed's rates, then the Fed lowers their rates, and then boom, falling off of a cliff. Okay, same thing's happening here. The yields started to go up first, which signaled that the Fed has to raise rates. Why? I don't know. Ask somebody smarter than me. Okay. I just know this is how it works. That the yields start to go up, the Fed funds rate starts to go up. 5% is the top. At 5%, the economy breaks. Guess what? We went up to 5, and then yields started to say, "All right, here we go. We're gonna turn. We're gonna turn." And guess what? For no reason, for no obvious reason, the Fed goes and cuts rates in July of 2024. Did you think why they did that? You're probably like, Sim, I don't even know any of this shit. You macro nuts. Did you think why they did that? It's because the yield said, pull the rates lower or I will kick you in the nuts, Jerome Powell. And in order to conserve his testicular capacities, he decided, I'm going to lower the rates. Now, look at what has happened. The yields are telling the Fed, you're going to drop it, son. You're going to drop it, son. Drop it. Or I'll drop you, yeah? Fucking right. It's right, innit? So basically, the yields being lower and dropping precipitously like this is signaling that the Fed is going to drop rates soon. But this level of precipitous, calamitous drop it's not good for the markets, because markets like stability in yields. Even if they're just ranging like this, they like stability in yields. Now, in this case, it also jumped below this range. Like it was here. It was like right there, bouncing around, and then all of a sudden it just gaps below, skips the support level, and starts to fall off of a cliff. That is a signal that something's breaking in the economy. That's basically a signal that nobody wants to buy U.S. government debt. Okay? So now another thing to do is you can take this here, okay? You can drop it down to here like an expert, because I'm a chartisticular genius. You can put it here. It's called a Head and Shoulders, not the shampoo. Relax, mom. Not the shampoo. I know we like it. You can drop it down and you can see where the yields are going to go. Probably around 3.4%. Is it going to happen overnight? No, but could it happen overnight? Sure could. Papa Trump is in the driver's seat. He could take a right and then a left and pull a 980 in a day. So this dropping is a big signal that the Fed is going to drop rates. It's a big signal that something's breaking in the economy, which is usually a great reason to print money. Fed dropping rates is a great reason to print money. So crisis and calamity is on the way. The VIX is saying that. The yields are saying that. Now everybody's saying that. Back when it was time to take profits in December, nobody was saying that. Everybody's like, Sim, you're spreading FUD. Excuse me, sir. Stop with your FUD. I have a 3-letter word that has been created by Wall Street, and I would love to use it on any kind of information that tells me that the markets are not hyper, mega, giga bullish. Okay? Now, nah. You're probably over there crying tears. I'm over here smoking cigars, baby. Don't turn that into some kind of dirty meme. I see you, memesters. Do not put something dirty in my hand. Okay? It almost sounds like I'm asking for it. The dollar falling precipitously. What does that mean? That means nobody's buying the dollar. Nobody's buying U.S. government debt. That means nobody's buying the dollar either. Now, what this also means is, you see, everybody in this period, in this previous period, the U.S. stock markets were ripping. So what a lot of different, players do is they, even from back here, right? The other countries were doing bad. The U.S. stock market was doing good. So they fed all their cash from their currencies into the U.S. dollar and bought the U.S. dollar, which means the price of the U.S. dollar goes up, right? So that feeds liquidity into the U.S. stock market, and that's why it's been doing what it's been doing, while the other stock markets were pooping their panties. So now, and then they've been making money here the whole time. This was yen panic times. And then, of course, they pump more money back into the stock market. Yay, yay, yay. We're all getting rich. And then the party stops. The musical chairs stop. And then everybody starts selling the dollar to go buy your currency, right? You start selling the dollar to go buy your euros and all those other currencies. And that means everybody's selling the dollar. Now, normally when assets drop, dollar goes up, because when you're selling assets, you're buying dollars. Guess what? Everybody's selling assets and selling dollars to get back to their currency, because they know the dollar's about to fall off of a cliff. Why? Because the orange man said so. And when the orange man says so, that shit gonna happen. So the dollar's falling. Okay? The dollar bridge is falling down. So that means turbulence, basically. Because as you see, the reason why it's really nice to go take your currency and turn it into dollars and buy assets is because even if you don't buy assets, you can take your dollars and put it into a money market fund and earn 5% on dollars. So the dollar is getting more valuable against your currency, so you're making money just in the currency arbitrage, and then you're making 5% on that currency arbitrage. So it was a great way for people to make money because the rates were high. As rates drop, you're going to make less money. And most likely you've taken on insane debts to borrow in your own currency to go buy the dollars. So when the rates drop, when this entire process plays out, you got to sell all the dollars. You got to go back and pay your own debts. And that is the unwind. That was the yen carry trade unwind. But everything is a carry trade when it comes to currencies, right? So all these currencies are now going to bleed out of the dollar and go back. And that reset process is the reason why there's these kind of waterfall sell-offs. Because when you got to pay your debts and that spread is getting to a point where you can't afford it, you're going to sell everything, and you're going to illogically price assets at prices which they shouldn't be priced at. Did that English? All right, let's put this thing away. Dollar down. Normally good. Today, not good. What does it mean? Crisis. What does the yields mean? Crisis. What does the VIX mean? Crisis. What does this thing mean? I mean, it doesn't mean crisis, but it could have crisis. Who knows? So, what's that doing? Stocks. Lower lows. This is the entire stock market. S&P. Lower lows. Falling off a cliff. The equally weighted S&P, which is the truth-telling sister, remember? Lower highs and lower lows, because she told the truth. I would marry this bitch. I mean, a woman. Love. I mean, you know what I mean. These are jokes, folks. All right? Don't cancel me. Or do. I'm already shadow banned. Doesn't matter. NASDAQ. Lower lows. Lower highs and lower lows. Okay, so now think about that. Wait, let's back up. The debt markets, the ocean. The ocean is effectively going down. Okay? Now, normally when yields go down, the ocean is going up. Okay? But in this case, this is like a fear trade that's happening, so macro has kind of flipped in this time. So effectively, the ocean is going down. The dollar, which is the still the ocean, but the closer part of the ocean, going down. Stocks, which is the sea of liquidity, remember? Going down. Tech stocks, which is the bay, okay? Not like Salt Bay, like the bay, going down. Okay. Russell, junk, all these things I'm not going to look at. But another way I look at the NASDAQ is I look at the NDFI, which is the NASDAQ 100 stocks above their 50-day average. And as this starts to bottom out, you can tell when the panics are, okay? Like, this was the yen panic, this was the Trump panic, this was the something, and this was the something, okay? So, like, this gives you a good signal of if the breadth of the market is good. Right now it's not good. A lot of the stocks are underperforming. Another thing to look at is junk spreads, junk bond spreads. Junk bond spreads are basically equivalent to like the altcoins of the shit coins of stocks. That's why they're called junk, right? Instead of they weren't allowed to curse back then, so they called it junk instead of shit. But you know, shit comes out of your junk anyway, so kind of lines up. I mean, this is a macro masterclass like you don't get anywhere else. Please don't subscribe, okay? Don't hit that annoying notification bell. Otherwise, like, shit will pop up once every 4 weeks when I post a video. So junk spreads are now starting to tumble, which means risk. People don't like risk. Oil is an indicator of inflation, because the oil sits at the core of everything. So when oil goes up, inflation goes up. Is this signaling that inflation is going to explode? Not really, but also now with tariffs and things, inflation is going to increase. Dow Jones, I look at sometimes, but it's just another signal. Same thing. Dow Jones is like a real market where it's industrial market. It's falling off of a cliff. No surprise. Then I look at Japan. And Japan, go down. Arigatou gozaimasu. Okay. Japan has been waterfalling for a minute. So this was the yen panic in the Nikkei. This is the Trump panic. It's playing out quite well. So we just see what happens. Okay. Now this happening is another sign. If this keeps breaking and we keep going much lower, that's sign of, you guessed it, some kind of crisis. Now China's been on the up and up. Okay. But isn't it interesting? China went up. Crypto went up. China went down. Crypto went down. China went up. Crypto went up. No, it doesn't work because crypto kept going up from here too. But, you know, man's got to try. But I think there's some level of correlation there, because if you layer, no, that's volatility. If you layer the bitch coins on top, there's some correlation, but not really. Okay, cancel that. Editors, don't delete this part because you don't exist. This video goes out unedited. Now, hopefully that makes sense. So that's the macro view, right? Also, check this out. This is the worst start of the year for the dollar in 30 years or something. In a lot of years. 30 years, yeah. This red line is the dollar, okay? And this is the worst start for the dollar in 30 years. Now, all of this is great for crypto, okay? Because it means that it's like the volleyball is being pushed underwater deeper and deeper as these things are happening. We want things to crash hard. We want Bitcoin to go. If it went to 50K, I would be super happy, because the lower it goes, the higher it pumps. The lower you push the volleyball underwater with all of these things, the higher it explodes when they blow up the entire fucking world. Okay? So this is great. This is the worst year ever for dollar. Thank you so much. Super duper happy with that. So now we get into an interesting perspective. Okay. Now we look at the total market cap. But instead of just looking at the total market cap, because who just looks at it? You know what I mean? You gotta look at it. You gotta put a bunch of random lines on it. What you gotta do is you gotta make it complicated. Because there we go. That's the right amount of complexity I like. You see it? Right? Am I right? It's obvious. It's obvious. Done and done, right? It makes perfect sense. See you guys next time. This yellow zone, ignore all the rest of this stuff. This yellow zone is liquidity that market makers love to nibble on, which means they will take the price down there, because this is on the total market cap. This is 2.4 trillion down to 2.3 trillion. That is $100 billion of market cap that they can nibble on. Now, does that mean they're going to make 100 billion? No, but there's billions of dollars to be made by them bringing the entire crypto market cap down to here, potentially even down to here. Okay, and I wouldn't be surprised, because that seems like the kind of range that they actually would like to nibble on. I mean, potentially even down to 2, but that would be very difficult. I think the total market cap coming down to this 2.14 range makes a lot of sense. Why? Because this is how the markets work. The markets are not retail. They're not institutions. They are institutions. They're the market makers who move the prices up and down to make a shit ton of money. Okay? Because there's a bunch of orders there where they'll make a bunch of money. So total market cap is saying that around that 2.11-ish region seems like a very plausible range for them to bring it down to. Now, if you look at like total 3, which is without Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then there's still liquidity to be had down to this range, okay, down to the 600 billion range. If you look at others, which is excluding the top 10, they've basically eaten up all the liquidity already. Now, could this drop lower? Yeah, in a panic, when Bitcoin drops, this thing could go all the way down to here, right? But that would be great, because if the others chart has been all the way up to 500 billion the last cycle, and then this cycle, they take it all the way down to something like 150 billion. That means we have, trillions of dollars of growth in market cap left ahead of us, and we are super duper happy to have that. Okay. Now, what that's telling you is others have basically been bled already. Bitcoin still has a lot of bleeding out to do. Okay. So that means, what do you think is going to happen to Bitcoin? Look at this. Bitcoin. Look at all this juicy liquidity, all the way down to 62. Could it go down to 62? Yeah, absolutely. In a panic, if stocks are falling and there's this bear market style activity, yeah, it could easily go down to 62. Could even spike all the way down to here, but who knows? My thing is, below 70, I'm happy. Is it going to happen? Data says it's going to happen. It's also bouncing up against the 200-day moving average. It's 50-day is the resistance, bull market support band, all that stuff is basically applying pressure downwards. Now, Bitcoin dominance, let's not look at it here. Bitcoin dominance is, at this point, this should be called Bitcoin dominatrix. She's got latex on and a whip in her hand. And her heel is, let's just stop that analogy right there. You're welcome. I know, I'm learning. Relax. There's ladies watching, like one of them. Bitcoin dominance is dominating hard. So it's just continuing up and up and up and up and up. Even the adjusted version of Bitcoin dominance we look at is continuing up and up and up and up and up. That makes sense. If the ISM is saying that Bitcoin should outperform in this kind of environment, the dominance following along makes perfect sense. Now, looking at stablecoin dominance, and this is combined stablecoin dominance, USDT and USDC combined, that's also going up. And when this goes up, markets go down. When this goes down, markets go up. Pretty simple. So what do we expect? Markets to continue going downwards until something changes. So now Bitcoin, looking at it from this perspective, it's already broken down below this fib. If we had to look at it from the fib perspective, this says like 56. It could go as low as 56. Do I think it's gonna? Probably not. Maybe. Who knows? Kinda. 60% of the time. Every time. I don't know, is what I'm telling you. Ethereum has been beaten up. I mean, somebody has been punching Ethereum in the gut. So now, guess what? Everybody hates Ethereum. Everybody hates Ethereum. Could it go as low as $1,200? Yeah. I would be very happy to buy it at $1,200. That's basically bear market prices. Does Ethereum suck? No, love. Fucking Trump's World Liberty Financial or whatever is buying it. They're telling you to buy it. See, this is an XRP moment. When you think it sucks, the smart money buys it. By the time you think it's great, the smart money will dump it on you and take your life savings. Ethereum is great. What a discount. My. What great discounts you have, Grandma. So between here and 1,200, I am a buyer. 100%. Am I buying it? No, it's too low risk for me. I like to, fall off of motorcycles and tear off my own hands. So me and you, we are made of different cloths, my love. XRP. Do you have to XRP? Yeah, I've been drinking a lot of water at night, so I got to wake up sometimes in XRP. Could it go all the way down to $1.60? Yeah, no problem. In a sharp spike sell-off, $1.60 for sure. Is it a great price to buy it at $2? I'm soup dupes happy. Buying it at these kind of ranges. XLM, it's a sister coin, so it's kind of doing the same thing. I'm just gonna leave that one ill-defined. Solana, now, share this out, Jose. Everybody's just watching this range right here. Okay? Everybody want a Solana, but nobody want to buy it now on because if it breaks below that support Hana, it's going to be a katana. Okay? And then you're going to be Krana to the bank. I am a rapper. Is it a good price to buy it at? Yes. Could it go lower? It could, but I'm not convinced that it's gonna. I think this range is a fantastic range to look at it. This bottom fib is around 56. I don't think it goes that low. If it between 115 and 56, I'm a buyer of this thing. I would love to buy it. Okay, so now the same people who are buying it at 300 won't touch it here because those same people are brokies. Sweet. Same thing. My target's been set at $1.50. Do I think it's going to happen? It could. Certainly could. Especially in this kind of panicked state. Could it go even lower than that? Potentially. It just depends on what macro does. Right now, everything is stretched to a point to say, hey, shit is fucked. That's a very technical term. They use that on Doomberg. And anything could happen. But $1.50 is an insane price to buy it at. Even $2 is an insane price to buy it at. Right, this thing, I see a 10x. I see a minimum 10x, normally a 20x, potentially higher than that in Sui this bull run from $2. Okay, so I was happy to buy it at $2. $1.50 is a great stretch goal for me. Yes, I am going to buy it, as you know. Near. Look at the discounts, Mama. Look at the discounts. Okay, $2 near is stupid discount. Right, that's at the bottom of the fib range. Need I say more? Render. $2 render, happy with it. Could it go lower? Yes. But $2 render, super happy with it. That would be below all of these fib ranges and stuff. But look at how perfectly it bounced off that fib. Okay? Sometimes you might be targeting here, but it might just come back to here. Don't be greedy, my love. A 20x is a 20x. Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is a great example. Okay? Logically, any chartist, any professional line drawing chartist would draw a line right here. All the technical analysis in the world says it should go here. Guess what it's doing? It doesn't give a shit about your charts. It doesn't give a shit about your lines. It just doesn't give a shit about anything that you do. Right? This is one thing chartists don't like to tell you. They're right until they're completely wrong. And when they're wrong, they just draw new lines. Right? Where are you going to draw the line now? Right? Here? Let's just draw the line there. For no fucking reason, let's draw the line there. So then they'll do shit like this. Oh, look, we shall draw fibs. And then the next, oh, this is a 786. That's, oh, it broke through. Oh, let me, one sec. Oh, the 886. Yes. Please stop there. Please. And then if that breaks, they're just going to create another fib and fucking show you that. It's all probabilities. Nobody really knows. So again, being the genius chartist that I am, You know, you've seen my charting skills. Oh my god, legendary. I drew the line there, and I put the katana target there. Guess what? It broke through that. Busted through that. So what did I do? I didn't buy it. I just left it. I'm not buying that. I'm not touching it. Just let it go. Because for me, if the VIX has not spiked above 37, if the VIX has not spiked above 37, that is not enough of a crisis moment for me to buy. If the world is signaling crisis, then why would I buy it now? I shall wait for the crisis to play out. This is a brand new asset. This is also the asset that launched Trump. So they can manipulate things however they want, especially their own asset, especially because they had a bunch of token unlocks here. See, there's a lot of complexity to understanding these things rather than just being like, yeah, done, buy, Sim put out a signal, just going to blindly buy. No, it's like, that's a signal of that time. When it breaks, I just draw a new line. You know, so in this case, it's going lower. Could it go much lower? Yes. Is it likely to go much lower? Yes. Am I happy? Super. Why? Because I buy. I'm that guy. Same thing with this thing, Pith, right? It was kind of this line. I see. I put the line at 886 now. I put the line at 886. Guess what it's doing? It's busting through that. So just leave it be, right? The reason why I actually like looking at the VIX being where it is, or you know, the VIX being above 37 as a signal, is because that's it's a noise-free signal. Right, I could put this up here, and I could go, okay, let's move the VIX to, like, there you go, 47. Anytime the VIX has spiked above 47, it has been a world-ending type feeling event. Even this, you know, fake out. So this is a much clearer signal for me to actually buy, rather than some charts and like some lines and some fucking toddler 12-year-old who's been in the markets for the last 40 seconds telling me to buy it, or some Fibonacci thing. All of those things can be violated, but that crypto fear, the fear index VIX spiking to the way that it does, it's not something that you can just fake that easily. There has to be something major playing out that panics markets and the AIs that control markets, like Atom. Okay, my entry on Atom was here, right? We bought it back in when was it? In August here, right? Atom is above. It's showing a lot of resilience, a lot of strength. Guess what that means? That tells me this thing is going to probably do fantastic in the true bull run. Because, okay, people are saying, is the bull run over? Bruv, does this look like the end of a bull run, or does this look like the end of a bull run? You tell me, bruv. The bull run is over? Really? This thing is at bear market lows. That's how a bull run ends? No, that's how a bull run begins, babe. Okay, Atom, ridiculous discount. Oh yeah, I know you want the lines. Relax, quit yelling at the screen. I can't hear you. Okay, Fibs, wow. Prices, wow. Wow, just wow. Wow. What did it do last time from this price, Sim? What did it do last time? Can you check that? Sure can, because you asked nicely. Last time it did a 8x from this price. I'm happy with that. Okay. Do I think it's going to do a more than 10x this time? Yeah. Almost. Nothing is certain in this world. Dot. Same thing. Made some entries back here. Okay. Dot's pulled back, but again, it's showing a lot of resilience and strength in this market, in this kind of environment that is finding a bottom around there. This was in August, remember, I made the entries. It's same around those same levels. Is it a good buy? You tell me, Professor. You tell me. It topped out at 50 last time. It's at 4. Is that a discount? You tell me, Professor. You tell me. Run some calculus on that one. Matic, or now known as pole. I mean, this thing it's just doing a pole dance at this point. It quit its job, you know, single mother, and became a pole dancer. It is beaten up as shit. Is that a discount? Is that a discount? Is this a time that you wish you could buy it? Was my target, was my entry here? Yeah, because I caught the katana here. It went up. We took a bunch of profits to here. Now that it's lower, if I wanted to redeploy those profits, I would redeploy them now. Am I going to? No. Already have a solid bag of this. I have it at a solid price. Am I crying that it's down? No. I got to take profits here. And great, please go lower. Ethereum's down, you're down. Everything makes sense. Jito. Jito is in a similar situation as Pith and Jupe. Jito is a liquidity pool. DeFi hasn't kicked off. Is it at a discount? Yeah. Goat doesn't have enough data. Is it at a discount? Yeah. Could this thing fall off another 90%? Yeah. SPX, not enough data. Could this fall off another 90%? Yeah. It's a meme coins can still bleed so much harder. Giga. Am I going to buy it? Yes. Am I going to buy it now? No. What's my target on this? 0.005 is a target that I've set. It's at 0.0145. So it's like another 60% down is required. SPX, what's the target? Oh my god. It doesn't even show up on the chart. Target is like 90% down, 95% down. I don't know. Too much down. But I'll be a buyer at that point. Trump, just completely crushing hearts and murdering souls and taking souls. Am I mad? No. Do I have some? Yeah. Am I at a loss? Yeah. Will I buy some more? Maybe. Am I crying about it? No. I'm sitting here smoking cigars. Who cares? It's like saying, oh, Bitcoin just launched. Bitcoin launched in, let's say Doge. Doge launched in January. I'm in April. It's down. Oh my god. Is it gonna go up? Is the first human meme created by the memeiest meme ever? The most popular guy in the world. Not popular, but, most known name in the world. Is that coin gonna go back up? It's been 3 months. Jesus Christ. Have some cojones, you imaginary people. Peak. What a discount. Now, you can't trust the fibs on this because the data is too new, but what a discount. The 886 of peak is all the way down at 0.08. Could it hit it? Absolutely. Could it go lower? Absolutely. Do I know where it's going to go? Absolutely not. But again, fantastic, ridiculous discount, and the stuff these guys are doing behind the, even just separate from us being on peak as Farmsent, the stuff they're doing is ridiculous. But today we're going to do something different. Not just go through my watch list. We're going to go through, this is going to be a long one, because, I don't care. It's going to be long and hard. Link. It's a great leverage play on Ethereum. It is data. It's also a leverage play on like AI. AI needs data. Blockchains all need data. It's a great way of investing in kind of a multifaceted pronged approach. DeFi needs data. So Link is a great play. Is it discounted? Oh, yeah. Is it a discount? Look at that. It's breaking through that fib. Guess what happens when it breaks through that fib? Sometimes it just comes back, but other times it might go lower. Now, that $6 to $7 range is a ridiculous discount. That's bear market prices for this thing. Could it go there? Yes, but it's unlikely. Is it at a ridiculous discount right now? Yeah. Like picking up this thing for $13 when it topped out at $50 last time, that's a guaranteed amazingness. Do I think it goes to $150? I think it goes past that this bull run. But then again, I think a lot of things. Okay, I think the moon is a ship that was parked there by aliens, and you know why? Because did you know all the craters on the moon are the same depth? In physics, that doesn't make sense. Okay, the craters on the moon cannot be the same depth. And guess what? They crashed a spacecraft into the moon, and the moon rang like a bell for an hour. That is not how a dense object reacts. And the moon's density is completely off. The moon, for the size that it is a fraction of the density that it should be. Okay? It is the only moon in the world, in the universe, that we found that is this size relative to its host object. It's tidally locked, so we only see one side. The moon is exactly, perfectly the right size for it to block out the sun during an eclipse. And if the moon was not the right size to block out the sun during an eclipse, perfectly sized, at the perfect distance, then Einstein's theory of relativity experiments of bending light could not be proven. All of that, I'm sure, is a coincidence. And there are cultures, many, many cultures, that have stories of before the moon came. Anyways, I'm just saying, I think a lot of things, okay? Do I think... do I think Link is going to do well? Yes. Do I think Algo is going to do well? Yes. Why? Because it is part of the system that is going to be deployed by the elites. Correctamundo. Aave. I mean, this is a DeFi king. Aave is... Aave. Aave is a great lending protocol. It was at 574. It's already getting close to its second lowest fib. That's a great price to start. Anything lower down to 60, fantastic. AVAX. I mean, AVAX is making big moves. Big moves. Already at a stupid discount, down to $13. Super buyer. It was at 150. It's at 18. If it was at 150 last cycle, it's at 18. That's how I turn. That's like a 10x right there, son. Now I'm talking about. Celestial, another one of my favorites. Bottomed out. Stupid discount. Quant, another one of my favorites. Another one of the conspiracy nuts favorites. 67. Back. It was at four. it was at $400 last time, and it's at 67. Okay, I'm gonna skip through a bunch of the other ones. Ondo. Ondo has a lot of great momentum behind it. It's real world assets. Ondo is at a discount. Could it go lower? Yes. You know the story. Checks has been really strong lately. It's been doing fantastically well. Its RWAs. It's again pulling back to its good fib. Which ones do I want to look at? Okay, let's go. Filecoin. Nah. I'm just kidding. Filecoin's a good buy, but they've really released a lot of coins, so shit is fucked. Arweave, great buy. This is Graph. The Graph. This is like the Google of the blockchains. Stupid discount. Theta is like the YouTube of blockchain. Stupid discount. Orca is a DEX. Stupid discount. This is Chia Network. Discount, but it just keeps going down. So I don't know if I want to buy that one. Doge, Giga meme, God meme. It's already at a great price, fantastic price. I'm happy to buy that at that price. Do I think it's going to go down to this fib? No. Shiba is like the baby Doge. What do you think? Yeah. You should know this by now. Yeah. Pepe, what do you think? Yeah. Good price. Could it go down a little bit lower? Yes, but also no. See, that's the kind of amazing analysis we bring you. Bonk, good price? Yes. Stupid discount? Yes. Popcat, not enough data for the fibs to work. But this was launch, and it's here. So this one is ambiguous for me. Am I buying it? Absolutely not. MOG, not enough data. Now, Metaverse side, IMX, stupid discount. Injective protocol, gaming, stupid discount. Engine, I don't know, Injective or Engine, one of them is gaming. Engine, stupid discount. Look, it was at $4.60, you're getting it for 7 cents. It was at $4.60, you're getting it for 7 cents. Need I say more? Super. I don't know if this one comes back. It's been doing... Actually, no. This one does come back. This one looks good. Super I like. Is it a super discount? Excuse me, phone. Rude. I'm on a call here. You know about that. Super. It's a super discount. A super duper. It's totally super duper. ADA. Remember ADA? Everybody used to laugh at ADA. Guess what? Ada laughed to the bank while you were laughing to your McDonald's job. Ada, good price. Not a bad price. Just like XRP. HBAR, also known as HBAR. And It's not the worst price, but it's not the best price, right? H bar probably has it's already done its rocket leg. Like let's not get crazy there. Sure, fine. I know you didn't ask, but Coinbase. Yeah, Coinbase. Well, price is not no matter. I wouldn't mind buying Coinbase, right? Okay, so now, remember I told you. First of all, I told you I keeps my promises. Secondly, I had told you I will show you a secret of how one of the indicators that I use to see timing for things. See, markets are not random; they are cyclical. So there's this great guy, Steve Miller, been in the markets since before Moses smelled the burning bush. I'm pretty sure he went with Moses to go get the tablets and all that stuff, from the aliens. He does this great cyclical analysis that has been very accurate. It's not perfect, but it's very accurate in the way that I've seen. So this is the VIX analyzed through his perspective. Okay. As you can see, everything just disappeared. As you can see, there is a bottom there's a top in the VIX coming up somewhere around mid-April, according to him. Okay. Relax. Hey, chill. Relax. Calm down. And I've disappeared somehow. I don't know how I did that. Well, there you go. That's all she wrote, folks. In this case, I don't know, man. I don't know how to bring the damn camera back. Aha! There we go. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Hi. You all right? Okay. All right. Yeah. There we go. Hi. Did you miss me? VIX topping out around mid-April. Okay. This is cyclical. You see the cycles. I mean, man's only been in the markets for longer than I've been alive, and before my dad hit puberty, so I can feel like I can trust that. His analysis, cyclical analysis, puts a bottom in the stock market somewhere in this range, which I know you can't see properly, but this is April, around like April 20th to like mid-May sometime. And you yourself can go find Steve Miller. Definitely, subscribe to his channel. Watch these updates. It's one of the perspectives that I look at. So I get the cycles from him, and I'm able to see, where things are going. I look at the daily updates from Gareth, and also all this stuff that I was looking at is actually on Gareth's website, Verified Investing. You can go on there and see all of these things lined up in one go. So if the cycles are telling me that the VIX has a top somewhere around the mid-April, then that's likely when the katana falls, because that's when it should spike, likely, right? Nothing's perfect. Now, if it's telling me stocks have a bottom around that same-ish region, right? Nothing is perfect, but somewhere around that region, then again, it's more confluence telling me that is the time for me to catch that katana. Also on this website, I can see insiders have been selling the whole time in large amounts. And there's some purchasing happening, but very minute. So, be like the insiders. I'm chilling. You can see the tariff rates. You can see big events that are coming up, upcoming events and everything. But my favorite things are like on this Verified Investing website. I can see the stock market heat map. I can see the crypto heat map. I can see the fear and greed for both. I can see the Fed Watch tool. Everything in one place. Okay. And Gareth and his team do a daily update where I can watch all of the different asset classes. All these things that we went through, which were like oil and stocks and Chinese stocks and this and that and specific stocks and Google and Apple and yields and everything. He goes through it on a daily basis and keeps me posted and updated. So I take that macro viewpoint. I take this cyclical analysis. I take what Raul's saying. I take my own tinfoil hat and thinking that the moon is hollow, and the understanding that the elites are up to shit, and my kind of framework of how the universe actually works. And then I calculate that the sky is not falling, because the sky doesn't exist. It's not even blue. It's simply a refraction of light. It doesn't exist, so it simply cannot fall. Yeah? So that is how I come to these conclusions. Hopefully this has been powerful. It is 59 minutes and 45 seconds. So what I would love for you to do is there's going to be a video right here. on this side. And you can watch that if you would like to continue these shenanigans. And if not, fine. I don't give a shit. You didn't hurt my feelings at all. Bye.